He led the army to save Turkey or created Turkey.
When did you first hear Mustafa Kemal?
I heard about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk after I moved here.
What do you know about his character, victories and success?
I really don't know so much because in America they do not talk about the leaders, but I do know that he was a good leader and he led his army very well.
Would you like to say something more?
Yes, I have a grandmother that is 92 years old. In Bursa, there is a statue of Atatürk. My grandmother goes there because Atatürk is there having a lecture, and my grandmother met Atatürk. Atatürk liked her hair, he was like this to her, and she always talks about him.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And you?
Thank you. I will ask you some questions about Atatürk.
Okay, certainly.
Thank you. And who is Atatürk?
Well, he's the founder of the Turkish Republic.
When did you first heard Mustafa Kemal?
When did I first hear about him? A long time ago, before you were born. There's a very famous biography of Atatürk, written by a man named Lord Kinross, who's English. And his book, sometime in the 60s, the mid-1960s. And I read the biography and I was fascinated by the man.
What did you know about his character, victories, or success?
A lot, but he never gave up. He always put the country before himself.
If he was alive now, especially, what would you like to say him?
Where have you been? Many of today's world leaders should take an example from him. And I think we need more leaders like him now. He founded a totally new republic. And it's amazing.
What do you feel when you hear the time for remember him?
Oh, on the 10th of November?
Yes.
Oh, I'm telling you, oh, my hair stands up on end. It's very emotional. When the first time I heard it, I thought, what's that? Because I didn't realize it was, that I didn't know it was going to happen. And then, but after that, I'm used to it now, but still, every time I hear it, it's a very emotional reaction to it, you know? And of course I feel sad.
Hello there.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you for letting me speak to you. I wanted to talk to you about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. Can you let me? What was the first thing that you learned about Mustafa Kemal Atatürk?
Our generation mostly start with the same lesson about Atatürk, his autobiography. When I was a kid, I always thought about the fact that he spent the summers in his uncle's farmland near Selanik, where he used to throw the crows out of the farmland, and how that turned into the fact that he fired the enemies out of our state. So that's one thing that I thought about in my mind like for 5 years. How could this happen? What was the relationship between the crows and the enemies? Because since we were small and like kids, we couldn't understand the other facts, the other general, let's say, the war facts too much. So that's how our teachers taught us how he fired the enemies out of the state. So that's one thing that's very memorable in my mind.
It's very nice to hear. What do you feel when you hear the siren for commemorating the Atatürk's death?
That's actually very sensitive, very emotional. It's one thing that unites all of us.
If he was alive now, what would you like to say to him?
It's very difficult to answer because so many things you can think about in your mind. That I would tell him if he knew which conditions our country is in right now, or how his way of looking to Turkey differed in time. I would still say that I'm hopeful and positive about our nation.
Could you please name us the precious presents that Atatürk left us?
There are so many to mention, but as a woman, I think I would say that the women's rights are very precious for me as a working woman, as a mother, and of course, we wouldn't be here if his revolutions didn't take place.
So, what are the characteristics, features of Atatürk can be integrated to Turkey's education system?
I guess his creativity, his vision, strength.
Never gave up.
To never give up. Authorities for the educational system, the national educational system should definitely follow his visionary path, I would say.
Thank you so much for listening to me and letting me speak with you.
No problem, I'm very grateful for answering your question. I thank you very much.